Hi, and welcome to my channel. I'm Lauren, this is Zoe, and Ziggy decided to stay upstairs today. For today's class, I will be sharing Thomas Hanna's somatic exercises for improving your breathing. This is mainly focused on diaphragmatic breathing, so if you haven't seen or taken my core conditioning series, I highly recommend doing so, and you'll see, I think it's the first video where I teach you the importance of diaphragmatic breathing and to feel your breath all the way around the ribcage. Now, if you haven't already, don't forget to hit that subscribe, like, and notification bell so you can stay up to date on new classes and new content that I'll be releasing. For today's class, just open space on the floor is ideal. I know if that's not accessible to you, you're more than welcome to practice lying in your bed and then perhaps work your way towards getting on the floor. Now, I highly recommend doing this class after doing some of the other somatic exercise videos so you can get your body moving and really opening up your diaphragm and rib cage region, such as doing the cat stretch or morning somatic exercise class, or any of the exercise classes that are focused on the front or the back of the body before you come to this one. And this particular class will really highlight how your body is in relationship to gravity and how your body responds to movement and to breathing in relationship to gravity. So slip into something comfortable, find an open floor space, and I'll meet you here on the mat. Let's first start on the back. Lie all the way down, feet planted underneath your knees, arms relaxed by your side. As I explained earlier, the diaphragm is like a balloon. The first couple exercises on controlling that balloon and changing the pressure inside of our diaphragm and inside of our abdomen. So arms by your side, you've probably seen or done this exercise in many of the other classes. So as you inhale, you're gonna rock onto your tailbone, your lower back will arch, and your belly will lift upwards. As you exhale, you're gonna round your back, feeling your abdominal muscles contract as you empty out that abdominal cavity. Again, inhale, that balloon of your diaphragm inflates. Let your belly expand naturally, and then exhale. Notice how you hollow out through that abdominal cavity. That was 2, I believe. We're gonna go for 15. So keep going on your own. Notice that chain-like reaction up the body, all the way to the head and neck. I'm going to take 2 more and 1 more. Good. So notice how your body is resting. As I mentioned before, you may notice that when you are doing that movement, the belly inflating on the inhale and the belly deflating and contracting on the exhale. So now what we're going to do is control the breath. When we inhale, we're going to hold the breath and do that same pump-like movement to move the pressure of your diaphragm down and up, down and up. You're gonna see what I mean in just a moment. So as you inhale, arch your back. Notice how your belly inflates. Now hold your breath, keep hold of the breath as you round your back. And keep going, holding your breath the whole time. And notice how as you arch and round your back, your belly inflates as you arch, your belly deflates, and the pressure moves up into the chest as you exhale. Do it as many times as you can before you have to take a new breath, and start again as you arch. Hold the breath and then keep moving through that arch and round position. And then once you complete 3 total, you'll pause. I have 1 more. So again, inhale, you inflate into the belly as you arch. You hold the breath, and then you do that pump. And then relax. Now, I know that can be very challenging to hold the breath while moving the spine, but you may have noticed as you're doing that, the belly inflating and pressure moving into the belly when you inhaled and held the breath. And then when you were pumping up and down, the movement would travel up into the rib cage, down into the belly, up into the rib cage, down into the belly. So you can imagine this big balloon, right? We're squishing one side, then squishing the other side. So now take a deep breath in. Hold. Perhaps you notice the expansive qualities of your breath, easier in your back and your rib cage, and then exhale out your mouth. Again, breath in and breath out. Good. So now we're going to do the opposite. When we inhale this time, we're going to push our back into the ground and feel that pressure build in our chest. Then we're going to hold the breath and do that pump-like movement, allowing the breath and the pressure to travel from your chest to your belly, chest to belly. And we're going to do 3 total breaths. So you want to hold your breath as long as you can in that pump movement. Then you take a break and you do that twice more. So inhale, back stays rounded, pressure comes into the chest. Hold your breath and then begin that pump-like movement. Once you have finished that one, take a break and then continue with 2 more. Remember to inflate first into the chest with your back rounded and then hold and begin that pump. One more time. And then relax. Again, notice the quality of your breath here. Maybe you feel more expansiveness in the back part of the diaphragm and rib cage in addition to the side. Those are the 2 that tend to lose that expansiveness. And then exhale out the mouth. One more breath here. Go ahead and open your eyes. You're going to roll onto your belly, and I'll turn to face towards you, but you want to lie on your belly with your head turned towards the right and your left cheekbone resting on your right hand. Now our relationship to gravity has changed. It may feel a little bit more challenging to be in this position since gravity is pushing down on our back, but we're going to give it a try nonetheless. So left arm by your side, turn your head to the right and place your left cheekbone on top of the right hand. Now, same idea applies. We're going to still do that pumping motion. So notice the tilt of my pelvis on the floor. As I tilt my tailbone back, it's like my back is flattening as if you're lying on the floor or with your back on the floor, and my belly is lifting. And then when I tilt in the other direction, tailbone up, my belly's pushing into the ground. Okay, so we're going to be doing that while holding the breath. So first, inhale into the belly. Hold, feel your belly expanding into the floor, and then begin that pump. And then once you need to take another breath, this time tilt your tailbone towards the ground. Your belly is lifting off the floor, your back is flat, and inhale into your chest. Hold and begin that pump. And then relax, and we're going to switch over to the other side. Turning your head now towards your left, take your right cheekbone on the back of that left hand, right arm by your side. Again, let's breathe first into the belly. Inhale, hold, and begin that pump. Exhale once you need to. This time, we're going to go in the other direction. So breathing into the chest first as you inhale. Back is nice and flat. Belly's hollowed out. And then hold your breath and begin that pump. And then rest your forehead to your hands. You may notice more expansion in the back of the rib cage and in the lower back. Take an inhale here. And exhale. Now, slowly press up onto the right-hand side of your body. The same movement patterns are going to apply, except now we're on the side of the body. So as you're lying on the right, stretch out your bottom arm like a pillow. You can rest your head on top of it. You can also bend it if that feels more comfortable, and then knees are hugged in towards your chest. I like to take my right hand to the floor in front so you avoid rolling backwards. Now, we're going to do that same pump-like movement. The relationship to gravity has changed. Gravity is now pushing down on the side. So you may notice more expansion on the left-hand side after doing this exercise. So inhale into the belly. Remember that cat-cow-like movement. You're going to hold your breath and move through that cat-cow motion. And then take an inhale and an exhale. Good. So now we're going to do that same cat-cow-like movement, but we're breathing first into the chest. Now remember, as you're doing this, notice the movement or the expansion from your chest and belly. So inhale into your chest. Remember to flatten out your back. Hold, and then begin that pump-like movement. And then inhale and exhale. Roll to your back for a moment. And you can relax your arms by your side. Notice how it feels on the side of the waist as you breathe. Perhaps since you were lying on the right-hand side, you feel more expansion on the left. And exhale. Again, inhale, expansion on that left. And exhale. Good. Let's take the other side. Now lying on the left side of your body, knees towards your chest. You want to do that same pump-like movement, this time with the left side of the body on the floor, meaning that all the pressure is going forward and back and up and down. So take an inhale into the belly. Let your belly relax and expand, and then hold and begin that pump. And then exhale. This time, we're going to inhale into the chest first, so make sure your back is flat, belly is nice and engaged. Inhale into the chest. Hold, and then begin that pump. Once you've completed that one, take another fresh inhale and exhale. Roll to your back with the feet planted, arms relaxed by your side, and notice now how it feels on both sides of the ribcage. Maybe equal expansion as you inhale and contraction as you exhale. This final one I find to be the most challenging, so take your time as you do this, getting to know the movement of your body. We're going to attempt to diagonally move the spine and to push the pressure diagonally from the chest on the right side to the abdomen on the left side, and then we'll switch. So first, in order to prepare for this movement, feet stay flat, arms relaxed by your side, and back is flat to the floor. Now, keep your back flat as you shorten the left side of the waist. So think like you're trying to scrunch the left shoulder and left hip as you expand the right side. Now notice as you did that scrunch movement, did your back arch? If it did, drop your back down and keep that scrunch on the left side of the waist. Now, by doing that, we're forcing the breath up into the chest on the right side. So you're going to inhale and then hold your breath. Notice how your chest expanded. Now keep holding your breath as you tilt your right hip up, and notice how the pressure moves into the left side of the abdomen, and then drop that right hip down and notice how the pressure moves up into the chest, and keep going. Right hip up, right hip down, right hip up, right hip down. It's a twist of the hips and the pelvis to challenge the pressure diagonally in the abdomen and in the diaphragm. Good, then stop. We're going to try that again. So if you need to reset, go for it. We don't want to be feeling pain here, so slow, gentle, controlled movements. First, back is flat on the floor, left side is scrunched. Inhale into the right side of the chest. Then hold your breath and lift your right hip up, right hip down. Right hip up and forward, right hip down. Keep going. And then relax, take a breath in. Take a breath out. Good. So now we're going to take the other side. You may notice already the expansive qualities of your rib cage in the front, the sides, and the back. We're now going to challenge the diaphragm diagonally from the left side of the chest to the right side of the abdomen. So back stays flat, scrunch to the right side of the waist. So right side is shortened, left side is lengthened. Inhale, notice how the left side of the chest expands, keep your back flat. Hold your breath, and then you're going to tilt your left hip up and forward. So your right hip is down, weight moves to the right or pressure moves to the right abdomen, and then keep going. That pump-like movement, but diagonally. And then pause, take a breath, and out. We're going to do that one more time. Back stays flat, right side contracts, left side expands. Keep the back flat for now. Inhale into the left side of the chest. Hold your breath and begin that diagonal pump. Notice how my left hip is lifting as I move the pressure into the right side of the abdomen. And then relax, take a breath in and out. We're now going to come back to that first exercise and notice the expansive qualities of the chest, the rib cage, the back, and the abdomen, and the sides as well. So relax your arms by your side, keeping the back flat. Inhale, breathe into the chest. Hold and begin moving here. pause. Once you have to take a new breath, go ahead and take it. You can lengthen the legs out. And relax. Take a moment to observe the quality of your breathing. And what I like to do as well by the end of this practice is to press into the rib cage, because we did so much work to challenge the expansive qualities of the rib cage and the diaphragm. You may notice your ribs have really softened. Maybe they're less rigid, especially on the back and the sides. Those are the two main areas that tend to kind of get stuck. And you may notice you can breathe easier with less resistance and more ease. Take one more breath in and out. Hug your knees to your chest. Rock a little bit side to side. Roll to one side and press yourself up. Now, I will say that exercise is pretty advanced. You have to have that deep understanding of your body, how it moves, the controlling aspect of your breath, and being able to control your breath, which is why this exercise has been released a lot later than the other somatic exercise classes. Hopefully, you've gotten a chance to do some of those exercise classes. And if this one didn't quite click on the first time, that's okay. Give yourself permission to ease into these lessons, to learn them slowly and intuitively, and to embody these movements instead of worrying about what you look like and trying to perfect it right out of the gate. And as I mentioned, I would recommend going to my core conditioning series. You can look under my playlist and find the one that says diaphragmatic breathing. Learning how to breathe fully and expansively into the diaphragm, so we're not breathing shallow up in our neck, chest, and shoulders, and we're allowing the diaphragm to do its job to expand out and down, creating intra-abdominal pressure when we inhale, and to contract in and up, kind of like a vacuum when you exhale, to massage your internal organs and to create more balanced movement of your breath. So check out the core conditioning diaphragmatic breathing video and refresh your memory by going back to some of the other somatic exercise classes to get used to that pump-like movement of your body as you breathe, so that when you do this class, it makes more sense. And as I said, give yourself time and permission and be really gentle with your body and yourself as you're learning these exercises. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe, like, and notification bell so that you can stay up to date on new content and classes that I will be releasing. If you would like to purchase a yoga mat or rug just like this one, I will link it in the description below. And if you would like opportunities to practice with me in person, whether that be at a workshop, a yoga retreat, I have 2 at the end of this year, then check out the link in my description below for my website so you can see my other offerings and we can connect in person. With that said, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and I'll see you next time.